We are back on the Weekend Vibes with your girl Indigo Jones on 104.7 The Drop, and I am so excited to have today's guest today. She is a Grammy and Tony Award-winning singer, songwriter, and actress. She is well known for her iconic roles as Angelica Schuyler in the phenomenal musical Hamilton, Wiki Roy in the comedy series Girls5eva, and she now has released her debut solo album, Who I Really Am, and I'm so excited to introduce the talented, beautiful, and gifted Renée Elise Goldsberry. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for having this conversation with me. So I have done a lot of research on you, and I know a lot about you, but I know the audience want to hear a lot about who you are. So if you don't mind, would you like to tell the people who you are?
Well, that's funny that you say that because that's the name of my album, Who I Really Am. You just read a really wonderful biography about me, and the title of the album basically says, I am more than my biography. And by more, I mean, I think there's tremendous value in including not just the other roles I play, but also the days that weren't quite as successful. So I am also outside of being an artist, I'm a wife and I'm a mother and I'm a daughter and I'm a friend. And I have way more jobs lost than won, way more awards not nominated for than awards won. And I think that's a pretty beautiful combination.
Wow. You talked about how you are more than your biography, and you have your new album, Who I Really Am. And of course, Angelica Schuyler will be an iconic role. Shout out to you for being that. You did such an amazing job. I loved Hamilton and just singing the song Satisfied. And that song is actually reimagined on your new album. So how did you connect those two iconic parts of your life while still showing the world who Renée Elise Goldsberry is beyond Hamilton, but also still connecting it back to that as well?
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to be able to look forward to all the things that you want to do that you haven't done yet, and try new things like releasing an original album, and also acknowledging the reason that you can do those things is because of some of the things that have happened in the past. And that's what was really wonderful about being able to reimagine the song Satisfied that I am known for singing from Hamilton. What's beautiful about Hamilton is that all of the songs in the show are performed by an entire cast of people. And when I show up in my concerts around the country, it's just me and the most amazing band in the whole wide world. So the reimagined version is new because it shows how great the song is outside of the show as well. And it celebrates the power of the voice of a woman.
Yes, absolutely. It's a beautiful album, and I really love it because there's a lot of themes of joy and vulnerability, heartbreak, independence, and even self-discovery. So what motivated you to create the album, and what was going through your head as you were putting it together?
The audience, the platform. I just have the most loyal, passionate friends and fans in the world, and they were like, "Where is it? What are you doing? I want to hear it. Where is that? Where is that form of self-expression?" That was very inspiring to me. I've been writing music since I was a child. And I was excited about putting it out at this stage because the platform is bigger.
Yeah.
This particular album I started writing in 2020 when we had a lot of time on our hands, all of us at home, to do some creative self-expression and a lot of self-reflection. And these songs, many of them were born in that moment when we were all recognizing there was a really important need to connect with each other. And music and this album has allowed me to do that, not only with my own platform, but with the world.
Wow, that is amazing. That's super dope. I also I read too that you have wrote 11 of those songs on that album. What was the process of that, like creating that album? Because it's a very cohesive album. And I love that, like, you also had your co-star, Sarah Bareilles. She also helped write one of the songs on the album. So what was that like to have that collaborative moment and to continue to have that creative process with people around you that inspire you to also do this that you're doing?
Yeah, I wrote 11 of the songs on the album. They are a very diverse collection of songs, which I think is tremendously appropriate because we are so many things. And, I also had the benefit of being in a show called Girls5eva with Sarah Bareilles while I was putting it
Yes.
together. She is one of my favorite, she maybe, I think, one of the greatest singer-songwriters that has ever lived. And that was, she's just an inspiration to me. And as soon as she heard what I was doing, she offered me a song. The song she gave me is called Don't Wanna Love You. And I had just written a song called I Met Someone when she sent me that song. And I thought they were perfect song mates, like a brother and sister song, like two sides of a coin. I Met Someone is about having to tell someone that you love very much that you met someone else.
Uh-oh.
And her
Uh-oh.
song, I Don't Want to Love You, is about being told that you are no longer that where you are in a relationship is no longer a safe space. It's like having received that news. And I love just hearkening back to Satisfied. And in Hamilton, what you have are two perspectives of the same moment. In that moment in the show Hamilton, that's what Satisfied is. And on my album, I get to display two different sides of the same moment with those two songs.
I love that. I read a statement about you where you mentioned that you spent so much of your career honoring other people's story, which you are proud of, but this moment is about using your own voice. So to expand, I guess, more on like how you were able to help express your sides of yourself that we might not seen on stage or like on like on screen, how were you able to express the different sides of yourself that we might have not been able to see on stage or on screen with you having the platform to use your own voice with this album?
What's so wonderful about being in the studio is you can do anything. There's actually a song called You Can Do Anything on my album. So
Yes,
there you go.
ma'am.
Yeah, you can do
It's
anything.
very
I mean,
positive.
you can switch sides of a situation. You can also, in the world we live in, put out a pop song on the same album as a spoken word song, as and you can put out a modern blues song. You can do a tribute to your daughter, singing with a group of powerful women in unison, as I get to do with the song Twinkle on the album.
Yeah.
I have stories of my own. I have inspiration just in my own personal life that gives birth to artistic expression. And as powerful as it is to be a vehicle for a genius like Lin-Manuel Miranda, it's also important that I don't ignore the prompts everywhere around me, and that's why I did the album, and that's what is alive in this piece of work. What you find in there is me singing my own story, and when you get to tell your own story at this stage of my life, what I love and what I think is so unique is that if I'm talking about a heartbreak, I know what happens later. So I get to have a part of the song that also talks about, not only what you did to me that broke my heart, but where we all ended up 20 years later.
And it's really like, it's also a journey. Like, I feel like listening to your album is a journey, and the lessons that you've took from that journey and just thriving in that and existing in that effortlessly and unapologetically, which I really love. And I also just got to say that you are so beautiful. Like,
Oh, God, thank you.
like, you are drop dead gorgeous, and you hold yourself with so much poise and so much grace, and you work in an industry that is catered to like predominantly white audience. So as a Black woman, what is some of the things that, because you're talking about these different stories that are different parts of you, I'm sure that you've experienced many different stories and maybe even racial and gender barriers as a Black woman in Broadway and even just in the music and entertainment industry in general. How did you overcome those while still protecting your own peace and continuing to lead with grace and poise?
Exactly. What you just did is how I have continued to persevere in this industry.
Oh.
You literally just took a moment on your platform to lift me up, to put a mirror in my face, to say, I see you. You are beautiful. I see what you're doing. I know what might have made it hard, but I am. You literally just gave me that love, and that is. That's what has gotten me this far, that kind of love from other women in particular, but just in general. I get a lot of love. I started with a lot of love before I even made it out of my house as a little girl. And I travel through the world, and I'm the beneficiary of so much of it. And I feel like my job, first and foremost, is to give that back in the way that you did, to use my platform to see other people that are just out there. I mean, I know that, even especially now, it is difficult because we live in a time where just politically, things that we just took for granted as good in the world, like diversity and inclusion and accessibility and authenticity of voice, all of these things we took for granted that was always going to be celebrated.
Absolutely.
And we live in a time we thought it was going to, we took for granted that it would be funded.
You are preaching to the choir. You are preaching to the choir. Oh my goodness.
We took those things for granted, and what we're like shocked by in the moment is the fact that we really can't take anything for granted. Yeah. But there is something that's still here, and it's the thing that was here before we had a National Endowment of the Arts or anything else. What's still here is our ability to lift each other up. We still have to be a community for each other. We still have to see each other as inspiration, and we still have to recognize our responsibility to lift each other up and not to see each other as competition. We have to, and we also have to see this time that we live in right now, with all of the threat that's evident, as hopeful. We have an obligation to feel like we have opportunity here. And I'm gonna go back to Hamilton. What I love most about playing Angelica Schuyler and being one of the Schuyler sisters is that they burst onto the scene in the world of the show, and they say this line, "Look how lucky we are to be alive right now." They were well aware of the fact that they weren't going to have a voice in the narrative until the sequel. They were well aware of the fact that their discrimination against women didn't matter how rich or white they were. They were not invited to have a seat at the table. They were discriminated against. Right. And yet they still had the presence of mind to see that they had opportunity, and they had to seize it. And that's what we have to do in this time. We have to seize the opportunity to lift each other up, and we have to seize the opportunity to see opportunity. Absolutely. That's what we have to do. So that's what's gotten me this far, is women like you, and I'm confident, in spite of the we live in, that we will find our way through.
Yes, absolutely. And I have so many questions that I want to ask you because I'm so inspired by your story, and just everything that you said was so beautifully said and very eloquently said. And even just in terms of community, I also want to say that me and you are sorority sisters of the illustrious Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Hey, amen.
I love to see it. I was like, my soror! Oh my gosh.
I know. We were sisters. We knew we were sisters.
We knew we were sisters. We had this. We were locked in. Yes.
Yeah.
But even like me being one of your sorority sisters and just being a part of such a beautiful community of Black women, I have one more question for you before we wrap up. Because as a Black woman myself, I do look up to women like you. And there are a lot of other Black creatives, especially like Black women who are creatives in this industry and entertainers in this industry. Do you have a word of advice that you would tell women that are like me, young women like me, of what to do about finding their voice and how to navigate their creative expression?
Do it, do it, do it. Trial and error. Just do it. What the advice that's the most helpful is universal. It's not just for us, but we need to hear it. And that is, let's stop censoring ourselves. Let's not think that whatever we think does not have value.
Yeah.
Just because it isn't where it's going to be doesn't mean it's not exactly what's needed for the moment that we're in. Let's not think for a second that whatever thought crosses our mind might not be needed. I think that's really important. I think especially right now, I think we're being projected something that says, especially as Black women, we're a little bit like, we tried, y'all.
Yeah.
We're like,
we tried.
We tried, and here we are. And you know what? We can't do this by ourselves. And
Absolutely.
So a little bit like, let's do a line dance. That's kind of our joke at the moment.
I love it. No, literally. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, boots on the ground. And I think it's beautiful. Like, we deserve to be loved and healed. We deserve a good line dance. Amen.
Yes, we do.
But that doesn't mean, but I think it's a lie to think that what we have done historically has not been successful. It's a lie to believe that, well, we tried and we need to surrender because we've not been successful.
Yeah.
That's not true. It's just not true. Success looks like a million different things, and a lot of times it's the planting of seeds in a garden we don't get to see.
Yeah.
That's what the truth of the matter. So I really inspire all women, whether they give themselves the label of artist or not, and all people, whether they give themselves the label of artist or not, whether they're told that their voice is the voice of inclusion or not. The voice matters, and it gets clearer and stronger the more we use it. So use it, and don't be the person that says that your voice doesn't matter. I mean, let somebody else say that.
Yeah.
Let somebody else say what's not right or good about it. Just speak, just sing, just write, just dance, just show up. That's what I believe.
And you are such a living testimony of that. And I just appreciate you for saying that and taking the time to be here today. You are such a beautiful person inside and out. And I value and respect and admire everything about you. Thank you so much.
I feel the same about you. Thank you so much for using your platform to widen my platform. I'm really, really grateful that you're there. And I just take that microphone and hold it tight and keep speaking on it. I just really want to wish you every continued success.
Thank you so much. I want to hug you right now. I gotta hug the computer. we'll hug the computer. But
hey, this is a hug.
This is our hug. This is our hug. Yes, my soror. Really quick before we go and wrap this up officially, I would love if you would tell the audience where they can listen and stream your new album.
Yes, I would love to say that. You can find me everywhere that you stream music: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. I'm literally you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. But find me.
Find her.
Find me.
Make sure you find
me. That's actually a huge part of what we do to advocate is just being very particular about who we choose to listen to and supporting us.
Yes, ma'am.
Support Let's support us.
That's what we got to do. This is what this is all about. It's all about community and uplifting and sharing everyone's story that we need to share. We got to do it.
Yes, and every single time you stream, just the littlest act of let me play it again, let me save it.
Absolutely.
You've given such a huge blessing. So thank you.
So have you. The feeling is so mutual. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in to the Weekend Vibes with Indigo Jones. I will see you next time. Indigo Jones. I will see you next time. Bye.
See you next time, darling.